Hi everyone, this is Matt from DrawingTutorialsOnline.com. I wanted to take a moment here to share with you on YouTube a screencast overlay video of how I think about certain drawing techniques in my mind. Now, when I did this drawing, I drew it in my own style and I didn't necessarily draw these techniques on the paper. But it's really important that you understand how to think when you're drawing in your own style. Let's get started. In this topic video, I'd like to talk to you about the form of this model's head. Okay, so let's head on over to the drawing. So the form of the head. Now, again, going back to things that I was able to see and decipher very, very early on that helped me connect with the photo and gain confidence with the photo. And part of that is right here. I really connected with her high cheekbone. And this kind of, for me, helped me to understand the form. Now, if we take a step back, okay, and start at the top. This here, this is the line that I really connect with. It's the line, in essence, that separates the light from the dark while simultaneously, let's just do the side of the head. Shows the form. Okay, that line there is something, it's again a head to toe. I like to say that all the time when we have a cylinder, and this is one of the most important things that I talk about. That's a little too high for me. Let me drop that down. When we do the critiques here at DrawingTutorialsOnline.com, I always talk to this idea and concept of shadow and light that goes from head to toe. Okay? Now, we want to be very consistent, our shadow from head to toe on the cylinder. And our light from head to toe on the cylinder. Okay. You can see that line from the top of her head, in essence, to the bottom of her neck. And then it would kind of go down. It gets a little lost at her shoulders, primarily because of the rim light. The rim light is destroying what would be the shadow shape on her left shoulder, the right side of the photo. But that is, in essence, the form of the head. Okay? And then what you want to do, you're using, okay, let's take a step back. A step back would be set yourself up for success and choose photo reference that has good lighting that will promote the form. One of the biggest things that I see, again, in the critique gallery is people have such good intentions. They connect with a photo. The photo's really cool, but the photo barely has any light and shade. It doesn't really promote the form. The big picture is choose a photo that promotes the form. Now, when I first lit the model, I lit her with true form light. And then what I decided to do was to lower my light, lower it until I was happy with the shadow underneath her nose. I did not want the shadow under her nose to go and touch her lip. So the higher the light goes, the longer that cast shadow is going to be. Okay? You have to really recognize it's in your power to work from the right photos, and the right photos will help you to understand the form. Now, as soon as I found the line that separates, then I'm able to understand the form. And the form is, her cheekbone is a cylinder. Wrapping on down. Her above her eyelid is a cylinder. Very cylindrical features. Now, this aspect of her hair is the same thing. It turns under into the shadow side. So that's the form of her head. Now, there's other form that we've talked about over and over and over again in terms of portrait drawing. There is this front plane of her nose with the oval at the tip of her nose. Okay. A little bit more. It's a cylinder. It's totally a cylinder, but it's still a front plane. And then we have the wonderful side plane. Underplane, where the cast shadow is. Okay. This too is an oval. So these are all of the things that are going on inside of my mind. And you could see this stuff through the tonal shifts. This is the eyeball, for those of you. Now I'm drawing it a little big. Let me start over again. This is totally I'm just trying to be a little bit more clear for you. Top plane turns to shadow. Top plane of the ledge. Underplane. The ball turns under. Okay, so you have to see this as, number one, a big round ball. But you also have to see it as, okay, there's this, it turns under, it wraps around, it's a top plane, it's an underplane. But that's where her eyeball is. So just looking at this form, this is very much a big oval. Okay? Very much a big oval. Her lip is just such a cylinder, it's not even funny. Wrap around, and that upper lip is a little bit more of a surface plane. This is where we really see, and I was talking about this a little bit while I was drawing. That's an oval. This is your highlight area, and that wraps under. So you get the modeling factors, this little skinny line that separates light from dark, light halftone, dark halftone, reflected light. Okay, and this here is a little bit of the reflected light on her jaw. Lot going on with the form. You can see with the tonal shifts, the lay of the land wrapping around. All of this is just form. Very, very, very round. Some people are going to have chiseled features, and some people are going to be much more round. I would put this particular model more in the round features department, not chiseled. Extremely round. Over here, you want to see her face wrapping so you can put the gradation. It's a little flatter over here, and then it just turns very aggressively. And something for you to think about over here, you can't think of her neck as a flat neck. You really have to think of it as, where is the lay of the land? I was just talking about this with landscape drawing to try to get the lay of the land. That will help you to figure out your value structure. Of course, I could keep going and we can draw all over her face. And I think you get the point. We'll talk about the form of her hair next. You just have to see how all of this works together. This would be more of the underplane of her brow. And a lot of people forget that turns underneath, and that's something that you really, really want to incorporate in your artwork. Okay, let's go on to our last topic, and I want to talk about her hair a little bit more.